Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone to season 5, episode 3 of The Climb. I'm Proton Plat Player, joined by not two, but three special guests. If you look above right there, we see two special guests there. We have Ellie from Marmy Fan Club, and with their mascot, Marmy, who is oh, is Marmy waving? Marmy is
Yeah.
waving. That's so cute. I love him in his little socks. Ellie, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. My cat's already attacking my headset, so you
Oh,
know,
so if your
that's
audio
okay
cuts
though.
out, if your audio cuts out,
Yeah.
that's
It's a Marmy. Marmy's just adding his little special spice to the episode, that's all.
yeah. Well, I love him. I love seeing pictures of him. He is so fantastically adorable. And now we'll
Oh
go
yeah.
on to Mr. Patrick, Mr. Venom, Mr. the sticker that everyone likes to post with finger guns. Venom, how you doing?
Sir, I'm doing great, Proton Plat player. It's a nice Tuesday night, chilling. Back on my favorite content piece, The Climb,
Your favorite
after
content?
being after being brutally rejected by Gar on the first episode of the dating show. If you haven't if anybody hasn't
Oh,
watched that
spoilers.
in a couple days.
We
Yeah.
have a loser and a winner here.
Yeah. Wait, yeah, one of the losers of the guard dating show and the ultimate winner, one of the finalists, Mr. Marmy, who Gar might be stealing away if he had anything to say about it, but
Mm.
so now that we've
It's
had
okay.
our
Gar called me hot on the show, so it's fine.
hey, listen, man, he's not lying. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. Um I'm just looking at Marmy and just okay, sorry. I got to stop getting distracted. Anyway,
Lock in, lock in.
yeah,
Lock
I
in.
gotta lock in. We're gonna get straight down to business. So, a few caveats here, real quick. We've had some roster swaps. So this little diagram to the right of the screen with all these rosters isn't entirely accurate. Hopefully that will be updated in future episodes. And also, Chill Guys and Scheduling Nightmares still. Oh, I messed up the standings. It doesn't matter anyway. Um, they have not played their series yet, so they are minus a game. So those points should be taken with a grain of salt. And yeah, that's those are the little caveats. So obviously, one of those teams is going to get at least 2 points. Mm, I'll push them up the standings past Harold's Groovies. So, Ellie, Ellie, do you have any thoughts about this past week? Just not just your games, but just the week in general. If you are any up to date with that.
Yeah, actually, I VOD reviewed all of the games before coming on here today, so I have them kind of fresh in my brain. Um, I honestly this week I think we've had a lot of fun games. My series included. I know Tubby's Pookies had a pretty cool game in their series. Um, before that was immediately shut down. I think it's been kind of a fun week rather than it just being Marmy Fan Club stealing the spotlight as usual.
Well, I
So I'm
mean,
really
if
yeah.
you just look at the scores, sir,
Yeah.
I mean, you guys did have an interesting series, but we'll get to that eventually. So, but glad to hear you did your homework. And Patrick, did you have any thoughts on this week or
Yeah, it was a great week. One would say the best week that I've ever seen.
really?
I watched part of Gar's POV for game one. Um, I watched the Summit stream. I forgot what series the Summit stream was. I think there was one.
It was it was
Uh,
the final boss versus Harold's Groovies.
okay, so I did watch that, at least part of that. I don't know. I watched bits and pieces of most of it. I didn't really have I had it on my second monitor while I was playing Marvel Rivals ranked.
Nice,
So
nice. Glad to hear.
that was
Glad to hear
Yeah, so
you're locked in, Patrick. So
hey,
I'm
all
listen. You're the
just
personality hire, so that's what you're here
hey,
for.
I'm just saying, we're the content team this season's in a little bit of a kerfuffle. We don't know what's going. Hey, I never know when I'm on or when I'm off, so I'm just
Hey, listen. There you go. Content team and the major corporate restructuring. We
yeah.
gotta get that class. What is it? Class B stock or I don't know. Business. Anyway, we're gonna go in order of top to bottom here for Anglers won't back down versus Ohio, and Ohio, we on the climb predicted that they would take this series probably 2-1 last week. We had faith in Sifra. Um or sorry. I think that I think Sifra, excuse me, had faith or wanted us to, or we wanted Sifra to have faith in his team, but I think uh, Sifra got traded off, and so it was actually Harold instead of Sifra on that team. But anyways, 1-2. So Ohio finally getting a win here. And Ellie, did you have any comments before I dove into the series?
Um, yeah, my goat, Stran, popped off a little bit this series. I was very happy to see that. I'm very close friends with Steven, and I was super excited to see him finally catch a win, catch a break in this series. I actually had a lot of fun watching it. I know these teams have kind of been in the bottom two, so seeing them go against each other was actually really interesting because I feel like they actually got to show their strengths a little bit when they weren't getting kind of like steamrolled. um, I did I did really uh I just honestly like I love watching Steven play. He's kind of like the star player in my opinion on that team. He's super nice and his giggle is just it's just contagious. I don't know. I was watching that VOD and I was like, that's my goat right there. But really, I didn't have many notes about this game in particular, though, because they really did dominate in the bot lane. It was kind of like a snowball effect for the two games that they did win, so it was really one-sided when I watched it. But if you have any other thoughts, I'd love to hear.
Yeah, what I found most interesting about this series is that they finally, if this win, obviously it was against the other bottom tier team here, but Ohio finally found maybe the team combination that works for them. Obviously, they traded Harold. Harold now in the mid lane, and they had OT Gator in support, and they had Isodidact in the top lane, and they had Owen in the jungle. And obviously, having your jungler be like a high elo player, somebody who can maybe shot call and do all that stuff, like see that, and obviously Isodidact in the top lane played top lane last season, had a pretty good performance. The OT Gator is the real question mark there, whether that's going to continue to succeed. So we will just sort of have to see whether that success will continue in the future. Patrick, did you have any thoughts on this series or anything I said?
Yeah, yeah. You hate to see your goat end up on Seraphine duty. Like Gator's ass got relegated to Renata Seraphine. Like it's okay, buddy. We've all been there. You dodged that smoke mid. Like
Oh man.
trust me, I'd
Yeah.
dodge it too. I would probably dodge you in the support position too, Gator. Like it's not to say anything,
Oh
but
man.
I think you dodged Gumby in the mid lane.
You
Harold play from watching the scoreboards because I don't remember where the VOD of this was. I think it was in the ether of Summit history. I think ISO Didax streamed his POV, which watching a top lane POV is kind of like a single player game.
Snooze
Um,
fest.
yeah, so I have no idea what happened, but from looking at it, yeah, I think Strand Gator played well. I wouldn't call Comet Cruiser and Savior like the best bot lane to ever grace Summit. But as far as I'm aware, I think they're. I know Comet's a pretty solid player. I don't know much about Savior. I don't know what rank he is, but it seems like he played fine. Just Strand and Gator played better. Gumby, don't give him Echo. I think Cowards stop banning his Talon. Let him play Talon. Let him play Zed. Let him play Silas. Like, are you guys really banning out 4 or 5 mid laners against a 10th place team? Like, come on, guys. But no, I think it
Maybe
was.
well, hold on here, Patrick. Maybe they are 10th place because they ban out those many mid laners. Ever
Nah,
thought
just
about
give
that?
Gumby whatever he wants. I don't think Talon's that good. I watched the climb last week and I heard Peak and Gumby say that Talon's not good, and I believe them.
I think they
So
were being
please leave it open.
sarcastic. Well, I think they were being
No,
sarcastic about Gumby's tone, but
nope. I think they're serious.
you think
Just
they're
let
okay?
let Gumby cook, guys. I want to
Let
see Gumby
let
pop off.
Gumby cook. Thank you,
Good
Patrick.
good series by
Yep.
Ohio though.
Yeah, I mean, good game one by Gumby on the Echo. Obviously, the Echo's kind of been a pocket pick for Gumby, but other than that, just not really a lot to say about anglers. Other than Gumby and I won't back down. Not really finding a whole lot of success. Again, they did get another game win, but they didn't get the series win. See, yeah. Moving on to the next series here, we have this is the one that was on the Summit stream. Harold's Groovies versus Final Boss Esports. Ellie, did you have any thoughts on this series if you watched it?
Yeah, this series was actually so I kind of know that Final Boss Esports has got a really good like team comp. Like I think that they're pretty solid in their game. What I really liked seeing was I hadn't had a chance to see Harold's Groovies play outside of some scrims that we had with them. I don't think we play them this season, so I got to see that POV on the Summit stream, which was great. And I really liked that they were able to hold their own. Like most of the games were one for one up until about like halfway through the game. I think their games were about 30 minutes. But Harold's Groovies really stayed solid. But every time they got a gold lead, it seemed like it was able to go away quite quickly. And so that was kind of interesting to see them hold their own against such a nice like that team is like really put together. Like I know they've had a bit of a like sub meme going on.
Oh,
But
no
I
longer,
love
no longer.
no longer, yeah. But yeah, I thought it was really cool to see Harold's Groovies go up against them and kind of hold their own for a while. But then once they started making mistakes, they kind of just fell from there. I did notice that game two they had a really quick Rek'Sai ban, which kind of made me laugh after seeing game one. Rek'Sai kind of was floating around through the map a little bit. So, but yeah, I thought it was a lot of fun to watch. I really enjoyed it. I liked all the fighting in it, and I think it kept me on the edge of my seat a little bit more than some of the other games this week.
Yeah, it definitely did feel very much back and forth for the majority of both games,
Mm.
but never saw kind of just turned on the afterburners and kind of put up really good performance in both games on the Akali and on the Silas, or sorry, not the Silas,
And
the
Bessa.
Ambessa. Um, so if you guys didn't hear, Final Boss Esports, their new roster is Ryan in the top. This is what they're playing right now. Is Ryan in the top lane, and then they have a newcomer Spartan. Played Pantheon in game two, so I guess that fits. In the jungle, never saw mid, obviously. Tate and Essence in the bot lane. So Ryan obviously never saws played with Ryan before, so maybe some synergy there. And then Spartan, strong showing on the Rex side and the Pantheon. So this team was looking good even with playing with sub roulette, and they're looking really good now. So I think there are some high hopes from. Um, and Patrick, did you have any thoughts before we covered Harold's Groovies side of this match?
Okay, so we're just talking about Final Boss. Yeah, I think Neversaw is waking up. She is no longer bored. She is playing
Oh
out of her
God.
mind. I think the Mbessa was really strong. The Akali, couple solo kill. I think she had a couple solo kills. It was impressive. They didn't really have like super dominant early game leads, kind of like Ellie said. I think their mid game team fighting and shot calling was extremely good. Which probably goes along with Ryan and Neversaw playing on team before. I don't know much about Spartan, Tater Essence, so maybe they also are good like shot calling as well. But I like Tate's Talia. Watching it on my second monitor, every time I looked over, Talia was hitting a pushback into their team and getting a kill. So I think it was very solid. Good flex as well because everyone knows Ryan plays quite a bit of Talia. Uh, so this team has a lot of flexes, a lot of fun to watch, I think, which is what you'd expect from a Ryan never saw team.
Yeah. Um, Ryan never saw lots of fun. Like you said, never saw is locked in, is not bored, is not hungry. So, and we are mentioning her on the climb. So, never saw if you're listening, you're welcome. We are specifically mentioning you so you can not complain in trash talk or DMs. So, um,
Ah,
anyway, final boss. Sorry, not final boss. Harold's Groovies. I will say that artist actually, I guess, managed to hold their own in the mid lane for the most part. Obviously, still ended up, dying, solo and just ended up dying in the team fights. But that's just what happens when your team is behind. Was down CS, but you kind of expect that when you're kind. I think it was like a diamond or something jungle player who got filled to mid or something like that is what I've been told. But so I'm not really too critical of that. John dies kind of having a rough time, and then Biddy as well not really finding much success. And then I don't know what was going on in the bot lane, why they played Lux and a hook champion both games, but um, if Doctor Knockers doesn't know how to play marksman comfortably, then I think that's going to be issue for this team. Um, maybe it was just because both sides were playing mages in the bot lane as well, but um, so I guess I could say the same thing for Final Boss Esports. But Ellie, do you have any thoughts on what I said?
Yeah, for Harold's Groovies, I did notice they kind of had a little bit of repetition in the bot lane. But one thing I really wanted to give them a shout out for was game two. They had like it was like a really early like fight. They got on like a kill lead, but it gave me like a lot of orange cat energy, and that's something that I can really appreciate. It
Oh, of
was
course you
definitely
can.
giving. It was definitely giving me some Marmy vibes. So when that happened game two, I was like, "Oh snap!" I was like,
You said
"Dang."
it's giving Marmy.
Yeah, it's giving Marmy. Like I was like, dang, I actually had a lot of fun watching game two. Regardless win or lose, I think they made it really entertaining by keeping the fights of both teams. But I really appreciated Harold's Groovies like just going out there and starting a little bit of ruckus on the map early on.
And then Patrick, any thoughts before we move on?
yeah, like you said, John Dye had a rough series. I didn't know Lee Sin top was a thing, and I looked over and saw Ryan playing it. I'm not up to date on the League of Legends meta, but Lee Sin top I don't think is meta, but maybe it is. I think Ryan had a pretty solid series top lane. He's finally not playing jungle and he gets to play a solo lane again like he used to, and I think he played really well. Bot lane, I don't know. You're playing Hongshu Me like double mage bot lane. Like I don't want to watch I don't want to watch it. No offense to the mage players bot. Like I don't care. Like Zig, Sway, Lux.
Oh,
Like
what, you don't like mages in the bot lane, Patrick?
no, not really. Spirit Man's Thresh was solid, at least from what I could remember and what I tell from having the VOD open right now. But um, yeah, I think they played well. I think their mid to late game team fighting and shot calling kind of lacked. But I don't think anybody on that team is particularly high elo. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think anybody's like higher than Diamond on that team. Um, but yeah, it kind of just shows like the experience and skill of or like game knowledge for like Neversaw and Ryan that it's just like or whoever else shot calls on that team that's like, hey, we might not have a big lead, but we're gonna move better around the map, and we're just going to rotate better, and we're gonna team fight better and play around objectives.
Yeah, I mean,
So that's
like
what you'd expect.
I mean, like what you said about like playing the round better in the shot calling. Like I specifically remember, like I think it was game two. There was like a disfight at Dragon, and Ryan's split pushing top lane, and you think, oh, maybe Ryan's gonna TP in. Ryan doesn't TP in. He just continues to like push down the turrets, and never saw, and I forget one more person. We're just running down the enemy team in the Dragon and the bot lane, like calls like that where you don't waste your TP and you're able to just get advantages, like even if you are scrapping back and forth, like those small things do add up. So on that note, we're gonna move on to Tubby's Pookies versus Gar's second grade class. Gar's second grade class finally dropping a game
Oh, it
to
was
Tubby's
such an
Pookies.
embarrassing way to drop that game.
You want to
Like,
go on? You want to go on, Patrick?
bro, fucking top two easy out here, just walking it down as Kale, and like it wasn't a base race, but it was a slight base. Like mid too easy just walked top and just kept pushing, and his team was getting their shit pushed in by Gar's team. Like Peak was like throwing every gun in the book at them on affiliates, killing everybody. And Too Easy's just like, bro, screw this team. I'm just gonna walk top. And he ended up finishing the game. Like it was really smart because he knew they wouldn't like they weren't winning team fights. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was just he backdoored. Tubby played solid on the
Well, I
Aurora.
mean, it sounds like
Like
a front door to me.
yeah, he just kind of walked through top lane, and I think Garcia was in the enemy's base, but they still had like a turret or two. So
Dang.
great split push by Too Easy and Tubby's team, and way to hold down the other four during it. But yeah, they shouldn't have lost that game.
Man.
Gar's team.
Yeah. So, no undefeated teams anymore. Well, undefeated in terms of games, I should say. Ellie, did you have any thoughts on this series?
I have a lot of thoughts on this
Oh boy. Oh
series.
boy. Oh boy.
Um, yeah, so we're focusing on Tubby's team on this one, or are we just gonna hash out both of them? Because I
How?
have.
Okay. You say your thoughts. You say your thoughts on
Okay,
everything.
okay. So Tubby actually asked me to say something about this series. I have it written down on my notebook. Um, so I was talking to Tubby about the series after I watched it. He said, "I have never seen so much dick riding as I did playing that series." Quote, Lord Tubbyton. So when I was so when I was watching the series, it really just felt like well, for one, they banned Ornn. Tubby's team did. They banned Ornn, and then they were able to just kind of like walk through top lane. Like you said, I think there was like 6,000. Like I think Garen did 6k damage that game, and just kind of let him walk in. It was like a less like fun version of like our Nexus backdoor that we did. Not to brag or anything, but ours
Well,
was like way
spoilers. We
cooler.
haven't gotten to your series yet.
No, from last week. From last week.
Oh,
Oh, that one.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, ours was way cooler, but I appreciate the attempt there. Yeah, so for me, when I was listening to those comms, because it was from Gar's POV, I think Venom mentioned earlier, I felt like it was just like I feel like it was just like Peak's circus, and he was just putting his monkeys where he wanted his monkeys to go. And it was like this orchestrated monkey circus. And
Uh,
it's
pretty
great.
accurate. Pretty
Yeah,
accurate.
because the whole time it's just like everybody chilling and then Pete going like, "Okay, go here. We need to help Dragon Tooth. We need help Dragon Tooth. We need help Dragon Tooth," and then being like, "Oh, like fight." And then they're like, Kale's coming through the front door of, to their base, and they're just like, "Oh, like keep fighting," and it's like game over kind of thing. But I thought that was really interesting. I've never actually got to hear that team comm before, and I always wondered what that was like. Um, I did find it kind of interesting that Tubby's Pookies did not ban Skarner second game. That was honestly like after seeing Gar travel as fast as he does on the map, like hitting every blast cone, getting to every fight, and then they decide not to ban that for game two was absolutely insane to me. Like I'm not normally one to be stuck on bans, but that one really that irked me. That like hit deep on another level. And then I think that Braum Roaming also in game one really set them up to gank and take advantage of Ayakben a lot, because he was really showing on the map, rather than I noticed he was showing in mid a lot, and that kind of gave Final Boss, or not, sorry, Final Boss, Gar's second grade class the ability to just keep going bot lane and just keep racking on Ayakben as well. Like, so I think for a team like that, I think having a roaming support, like, sure, it helps the rest of the team, but they're just feeding the enemy team at that point. So I'm really hoping that in the future we'll see a little bit of a different play from Tubby's Pookies. But that's kind of like most of my overall thoughts on the series. So feel free to take it away there.
Yeah, I think peak performance versus a Hackben is basically as diametrically opposed as you can get. It's yeah, was it Hydrogen Bomb versus Coughing Baby? So I mean, if you're Sifra, like that lane, no offense, is doomed, and the KDAs reflect that. Um, the best you can do is basically just roam and try and help Too Easy, try to help Frost or not Frost.
Mhm.
Sorry, not Frost, Tubbyton, and yeah,
There wasn't much to help.
there wasn't much to help as you say. Um, but great performance by Peak Performance. I guess you could say it was a peak performance. NPR. Gargoomba popping off in the jungle too. All three games. And Dragon Tooth, I mean, like, this guy just plays Ornn. I don't know what to say. Frost, solid performances as well. Not really a whole lot to say to Gar's second grade class other than, yeah, I mean, like, you made a call in game one and you lost. You lost the call, which just happens sometimes. And yeah, Patrick, did you have any thoughts you want to piggyback off of anything that we said?
Yeah. I don't know if the website's broken, but Peak had tier one boots. 35 minutes into that game.
Yeah, don't worry about
Not
it,
sure if
man.
that.
Don't worry about
Yeah, I'm
it.
not sure if that's broken or not, but just a small. But no, I think Tubby Spookies played relatively well. Like, let's be real. You're like Iokbin, I think is silver. No, he's gold. I think, right? Like, having a gold ADC into like a Masters GM ADC that played like CLOL and stuff and it is very good. Like, it's not going to end up well for you no matter what. And so it was a rough bot lane, as expected. Peak played Aphelios all three games, which was kind of criminal. Like, bro's an elo terrorist down there playing. Like, the last time I saw somebody or locks Aphelios 3 games in a row, his name was Giuseppe Hack, and he didn't sign up this season. But no, I think, yeah, like Ellie said, like, don't let Gar have Scar, or was it no? One of you guys said don't let Gar have Skarner. It's such an easy champ, and Gar knows how to pilot it. Like, it's just like Soul Pan last season. Like, give Paul Skarner, he's going to win the game from the jungle. He is going to walk up to you, hit you into a wall, ulti you, and then give peak performance a free ass kill. Like, there were several times Gar would just walk up, stun somebody, ulti them, and then Pete gets a double kill. Like, this team's, I think, very good. I think Frost is a very underrated player from last season. I think he's still very solid. Dragon Tooth is doing what he has to, which is survive and let yourself get carried by your mid jungle AD. Um, no, I think this team's gonna be very hard to beat because someone does not know how to beat good ADCs that have good mid. Like, they don't know how to beat a team that has a good jungle mid AD. Like, they match up very well into a lot of people, and it's hard to abuse Dragon Tooth enough that Peak and BR aren't slamming your bot lane. But no, I think it was fun to watch from Gar's POV. Uh, please don't give Gar Skarner. Gar, the resident jungle main of Summit. Um, he lies if he says he plays mid or top. He's played like what 3-4 seasons and he's never played anything but jungle at this point. I think he played it one time. He played top lane. Don't let this man lie. He is a jungler.
No, he's a mid laner. He's a mid laner.
Yeah. Also,
Yeah,
also shout out BR on Thresh.
yeah,
I love shouting out every Thresh player.
all one of them. Or oh, sorry, two of
Yeah,
them.
2 this
Yeah.
week.
And something should be mentioned also. Frost was subbed in for foreign guy, but I
Oh,
mean,
was he?
Yeah.
No.
So, but
That's how much I
I
hated
don't
that
I
shit.
don't think the mid lane was really the deciding factor here. Maybe Lord Tubbington had an easier thing go of it, but other than that, not really anything else to say about this series. We're gonna skip over this one that hasn't been played yet. Scheduling Nightmares versus Chill Guys that was talked about last week. We're gonna
Shout
go
out Cisco. Cisco about to pop off. That's
Cisco,
all I'm gonna
yeah,
say.
Cisco, my goat. Corporate budget cuts, never forget. And yeah, Marmy. He's already giggling. Marmy Fan Club versus Possum Posse. Ellie, what the hell happened in this series? Oh, I see every the
Um,
notebook out.
yeah, so I'm not gonna make eye contact with you. No, I'm just kidding. What happened? I don't know. I was crashing out like game 3.
Cra-
I was trying my best,
crash,
but I was crashing the fuck out.
crashing
Uh,
out.
yeah, I was crashing out. No, I do really well at like just like something will happen like before the game or like we'll have like a really bad game too, and I'll just like I'm gonna swallow this real quick, and then like I'll crash out after we lose if we do lose like then I'll. But yeah, um, I don't know. I honestly I think that we went up against like a really good team. I loved game 1 the most, not because we won, but because we specifically were at a 28 kill deficit.
And you guys won.
And we won. Well, yeah, it's just
Yeah,
yeah, it was
explain
because we
that. Explain
won,
that
but
for all the uninformed.
yeah, so basically what happened was we just channeled our inner orange cat energy and we are like it doesn't matter that we're 28 kills down. Like we're gonna just capitalize on every mistake you will ever make. We will attack you when you're weak. Like that is just like our whole. That's like our whole thing. It's really I can't believe we keep getting away with it, and I think that the loss will be good for us though. Like I think it's something that we can talk about and finally stop giggling hysterically in our Discord calls after every win.
Yeah.
Because
Well, I mean,
FYI, that's what happened before. Every time we beat one of you
oh,
guys in the stupidest way, we'd sit there and giggle.
yeah.
So
Well, orange cat energy doesn't work every time, but when it
it
does, it's fantastic.
honestly, just glad we had like a good, like fun game 1 to talk about. I like on a real note, I think that like I said, it's gonna be something that we can grow on as a team. I know Marmy's still proud of me. I'm his mom, so that's all that really matters to me. I
Aw,
think,
that's so cute.
yeah. So I had a lot of fun playing with Cora in the bot lane that game. I think that um I really appreciate Cookie's, mental and Kora's mental during that game as well. Like they're just very much like voices of reason, but also very violent at the same time because they're also like orange cat energy. But
Voices of
yeah,
reason but violent.
yeah.
Got it.
So yeah, I a lot happened there. I think Possum Posse's just like a strong. Like I think they're just a really strong team. Like I think they had it down. And although we were able to take game 1, like unfortunately we couldn't win the series, but it was still a lot of fun. Obviously all GGs. So
Yeah. I mean, glad you guys had fun.
yeah.
Uh, yeah, I mean, Marmy Fan Club continues to do Marmy things. Took it. You guys like to go 3 game series, though. I will say.
Yeah, we want more deaths.
More deaths. You
That's
know
yeah.
it's the little leaderboard hack. They don't the summoners don't want you to know, but um, yeah. I mean, I think you guys. I don't really know what to say this series other than Possum Posse is just really good. They're really good. They got strong mid lane, strong bot lane, strong jungle. I'm not ever going to say that their top laner is strong.
What's their top lane? Who's their
Uh,
top laner? I don't remember.
Anyway, Venom, do you have any thoughts on this
Yeah,
series?
yeah. Pai doing Pai things. He's 8-14 on Aurelia, and he's still. I didn't watch the game, but I could in my head imagine exactly what Pai did, which was tell his team, "Don't die. I'm gonna split push, and he's gonna farm, and he's gonna take towers, and then he's gonna do that the whole game,
No
and
comment.
he's
No
gonna be
comment.
relevant." And for some reason, he's going to be able to 1v1 anybody on the other team randomly while having like an item disadvantage. And then someone like X-Ray is going to waddle into the lane and Pai going to kill him for some reason. Like, that's how Pai plays. Heiko God, bro, put up the scissors, bro. Like, hey, put up the scissors. Ain't no way. This website must be broken. I have to reach out to Kega. No way you went 3-19 in 2 games. Ain't no way I saw that, right? Like, I must be seeing things that you went 3-19 in
Oh,
in two combined games. Like,
oh,
bro, Pai Pai's in the nightmare jungle mid combo. His jungler's chaining to in a
oh.
29-minute game, 12 deaths. Like,
That was like a pretty mild Heiko game.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
Pai Pai's probably ripping his hair out. Like, where's my jungle? He played with Paul last season, and Paul is the ultimate hover his lane.
uh,
Like, I'm gonna track their jungle. I like I said, it makes for fun gameplay. I'm sure Pai Pai's having a great time. But when Blob Blob Fish is chain ganking him mid lane, and he probably gets a Renata in his like at him all game. I know Pai Pai loves getting 3
yeah,
and 4 man. But realistically, I think Army Fan Club. I think they're very fun to watch. Just the players they have on that team are just fun
Orange Cat
to
energy.
watch. Exactly. Also that Boss of Bossy, bro. Who let Nico and Thim on a team with Blob Blobfish, bro? That team is criminal.
Yeah,
Like no Thim, no win for Jason, but like Thim and Nico, they carried me to a tournament, a summit tournament win. It was only 4 teams, but Nico and Thim work very well together, and they're both very good players. Adam, I don't know much about Adam, but it seems like they're playing very well. Like Thim and Adam are winning every lane, and they're not only are they winning. Thim had, let's see, Thim score. He had 4 deaths. Let's see, 20. He had 33 kills, 4 deaths,
yeah. I mean,
and then like 30 assists. Like his KDA is insane. Nico's also went insane. 12-0 on Aurora, 13-5 on Syndra. I don't know how many of those were Heiko, but probably a lot of them in game 2 and 3. But no, I think Barbie Fan Club is fun, and I think Possum Posse is. It reminds me of last season when it was X-Ray Thim Sprinkler, that Sprinkler Stinklers. Like they are playing very well. X-Ray's doing his job. He's playing a tank top and playing a tank. Like you don't
yeah.
have to do anything when your
No, no, no.
bot
You're
lane
talking
and
about the
mid are.
solo bolo king.
Yeah, he might have solo killed Gourmet Cookies, but no offense, Gourmet, but I saw you get soloed in a Vigar v Tom Kench top against my boy David. So
Oh,
like,
oh,
Oh, my
but
man,
no,
cookies.
I that was also like 3 seasons ago. I'm sure Cookies is playing
no,
better now, but no, I think the team's just good, Possum Posse,
yeah,
and I love watching Marmy Fan Club.
yeah. I mean, yeah, lot peak performance. Sorry, not peak performance, like peak gameplay, I should say. Um, but like other than game one, which take it or leave it, that's Marmy, the Marmy effect right there. But games two and three, like not really even close. I think yes, macro probably Possum Posse got big leads off of that. But at some point, you just have to look at the scoreboard and realize like if Possum Posse is just winning basically 3/4 of the map, um, statistically they are going to win basically all their games, and that's what they're doing. And this is why I want to segue into the discussion of real quick this top three here. I think the one just based off the points, the 1, 2, 3. I think these are our top three teams, and then there everyone else is kind of just below that. Guard secondary class, Final Boss Esports, and Possum Posse. I don't believe that any of these teams have faced each other. So, Ellie, where do you rank these top three teams? Would you play? How would you place them 1, 2, 3 if you know?
Honestly, I kind of like them where they're at. And maybe that's a little like biased because I did get to hear the GAR second grade class comms that they had. Just like being able to see into like the inside of like their communication and how they work. Like yes, it is the peak circus, but thankfully the other members of the team are still able to talk to him and talk to Gar and stuff. And just knowing their communication, how strong they are as a team, like I really think they are still number one. I think Final Boss Esports, now that they have a solid roster, I think they're gonna stay in second, and I think Possum Posse is still again another solid team, but I would leave them right where they are, 1, 2, and 3. I think
Uh,
their points and where they're at are perfect.
yeah, just to be clear, for clarification, I'm sure you guys already know this, but the 1-2 for the points, it means they share the
Mm,
spot. It doesn't mean that they're
yeah.
okay. Yeah, just wanted to make sure.
You
That
didn't do
also
the tiebreakers already
clarifies.
and figure it out for us, Noah?
Maybe at the end. At the end, I will do that. Yes.
L production, Noah. L
Oh my
production. I
god.
was just kidding.
Did everyone in chat last season, whenever anything happened on stream, just L production. Oh,
True.
right client crashed. Oh, that's my fault. Okay.
That's Noah's fault.
Okay.
How dare you?
What do you think about these top three teams, Patrick?
Um, I think they're pretty solid and accurate. I agree with Ellie. Like, I think I would probably put these three teams about where they're at. I will say, looking at it, Possum Posse hasn't really played a good bot. Like a high level bot lane. I would say I think Marmy Fan Club is the best bot lane they've played against. Because they played against Harold Groovies, who I don't remember their bot lane. Spirit Man and Doctor Knockers. Doctor Knockers just keeps playing Lux. I don't know if he's a Lux player or what. I don't know enough about him, but that's like an okay bot lane. I think what'll be interesting is when they have to play against Rob's bot lane. I think Seeker and Rob are pretty like one of the better bot lanes, as well as obviously Peak Performance and uh was there BR as their
Yeah,
support?
BR.
Right? Yeah, BR. So I think it'll be interesting if they can show that their bot like they could win games when their bot lane isn't 13-0. I think they could possibly take a stab at number two. I think Nico and Neversaw. I think Neversaw is better, but I think Neversaw is a little streaky sometimes. She sometimes is a little inconsistent. Um, I think Nico can try to neutralize her in that scenario. So I think 2 and 3 could switch depending on the day. I think Gar's team is just so good, bro. When you have an ADC that is just gliding on everybody, it was like Asriel last season where it's like, bro, this ADC is good.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to glaze him, but then you have Gar who's used to being like, hey, I'll do whatever it takes to support the best player on the team. Like he did that with Charles back on Don't Press Tab. He would literally just camp
Wait
the
a
hell out of
second.
Charles. The
You're
best team
saying
in
Charles?
existence.
You think Charles was the? Let's do a little throwback. You think Charles was the best player on that team, Patrick?
Were we watching the same Charles who was 16-0 on what's it called?
We're
Action every game?
yeah. I don't remember seeing you guys in playoffs.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The sub rule. I'm sorry. Somebody got a sub in. I'm sorry. The new Rengar 2 trick got subbed out for OT Gator in the jungle. My bad.
Okay.
No, I think the top three is pretty accurate. I think 2 and 3 can swap,
Yeah.
or they're interchangeable. But I think Gar's team is the clear number one until somebody can come up with a strategy to uh, shut down Peak.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, I don't really know where to place these three because I feel like they could all trade blows with each other because the only matchup we're going to see of these top three if they remain top three is in the last week Guards second rate class versus Possum Posse. We're not going to see anything else because of the I think it's a 7 week schedule, and so not everyone gets to play each other. It's a different format, and so I mean, it could be a bummer, but obviously, if both all these teams continue to win, they'll hopefully see each other in the playoffs. So we're gonna move on to next week's games. We're gonna go from top to bottom. Ohio versus Harold's Groovies. How are we feeling about this, Ellie?
Um, I think that Ohio would probably take the win if they stabilize, which it looks like they may have. I think it's possible that they could start being like a contender. So I really think Ohio could take it, especially if they like if they can just keep up what they kind of had this week, I think it would be Ohio, honestly.
Yeah, I agree. I think Ohio, their bot lane will actually stand a chance, Strand and Sifra against Dr. Knockers. So yeah, I mean, and also with their their role swaps, maybe they're settling in. They found success. And Harold's Groovies, obviously down there as well, could potentially be a 2-1 series. But I actually do think that Ohio is pretty not heavily, but like strongly favored. And funnily enough, Harold's Groovies, they're going to be playing against Harold on Ohio now, so I think it's a little bit fitting. Patrick, what do you think?
I'll make this one quick. I think Ohio 2-0s them. I think OT Seraphine is gonna pop off.
OT Seraphine.
Yeah, my goat Seraphine
Oh, sorry.
player.
I said Sifra for Ohio. I forgot that it's
Yeah, he
OT Gator
traded.
in the bot line. Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah, it's OT Wash. No, I'm just kidding.
OT
Gator's gonna watch it.
Wash.
Gator's gonna watch this and troll me and trash like. But no, I think Ohio 2-0s. I think Strand and Gator played really well in the bot lane, and I don't think Harold's Groovy's bot lane is too crazy, so I think they could still win that lane pretty easily. Not easily, but I think they could win that. They might even swap Owen back top and crush John Dye's spirit, um, and make him feel bad. But no, I think this one's I think it's a 2-0 Ohio, honestly.
All right, so everyone's going with Ohio. And now we're gonna go with, oh boy, Gar's second grade class versus Marmy fan club. This is certainly going to be a series. This is certainly going to be a series of all time. But Ellie, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this series.
um, I honestly I'm kind of looking forward to this. I'm I'm okay with getting steamrolled in the bot lane, because I think it'll be, like me entering my training arc after. Being a rook, like I've only been playing League for 1 year. And so I honestly think it would be a lot of fun for me to go up with my best friend Korai and just get our faces beaten in bot lane, by someone who is really good at the game. Because I will probably VOD review that like for an hour after watching it over and over again. Honestly, I think it'll be a lot of fun. I think it will be really entertaining to watch. I think we're gonna bring our orange cat energy. I think that Gar's second grade class, I think, will win. If I'm going to be honest, if we're keeping it at the same pace that we're going after last week. But we definitely are going to try. Like, I think we're gonna make it fun. I think we're gonna have a lot of fights. And win or lose, I know we're going to make Marmy proud. And honestly,
Aw,
that's all I care about. Like, I just
yeah.
want to make my little kitty proud.
Aw,
Orange cat energy out there. So,
where'd he go, by the way?
oh, he ran. He's out sleeping on his little perch out there that I send you
That's
pictures
so
of
cute.
him on.
That's so cute. He's
Yeah, I've had a
photosynthesizing.
yeah. He's photosynthesizing right now.
Well, I guess
I
it's
have
dark, but
yeah. He likes to sleep over there. So yeah, he was really sleepy. I have another cat in the corner. You can't really see him because I'm cut off, but I have three cats. So,
yeah.
but yeah.
Hidden Marmy lore. 3 cats, not just one.
Yeah, he's got a brother and a sister. Super spoiled, but yeah. So I think it'll be a fun game, but I think our second grade class will win. And if they don't, I don't even want to know what war crimes we're going to be committing to make that happen. So stay
Yeah.
tuned.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I would like to say this is going to go 3 games, I think it's 2-0 GSC. I think that peak performance is a good counter to Asteria, and I think that, these shenanigans are not going to work against a team that has such a good shot caller and peak performance. Maybe there is an exploit there in the top lane that there could be, you know, something to say about that, but I don't think that it's going to be very likely that any lead that Gourmet Cookies makes in the top lane is going to amount to anything. They've groomed Dragontooth to basically be, even if he's down, he's still useful. He still absorbs a lot of pressure, absorbs a lot of damage, and in at the end of the day is just what the team needs to win. So, Patrick, what do you think?
I think it's a Gar 2-0. I think it's gonna be a rough bot lane. I think
Thanks.
hey, I believe in you guys. I want you guys to succeed. Like,
Yeah.
but like I'd say the same thing if I was down there. I'd be like, I'm getting clapped up. Like,
Yeah.
but no, I think the bot lane's rough. I think honestly, the strategy for Marvin Fan Club should be swap Pai Pai top and let Pai Pai go to work on Dragon Tooth. Like that's like because Gar's mid laner is who is it, foreign guy. I don't know how good he is. He's probably pretty solid, but like I don't think foreign guy is gonna just blow Pai Pai or Gourmet Cookies out of the water in a mid lane. I think put Pai Pai top and let Pai Pai cook. Let Pai Pai play like Gwen or something. Let him or whatever he feels that he could just demolish Dragontooth and then walk up to peak 10-0 and like kill him. Do the Owen strategy from previous seasons. Like see like who's better, a Fed top or a Fed AD, and see what happens. But I think realistically, I think Gar's better jungler than Heiko. Heiko needs to please don't int Pai Pai's lane. Um, also, do not int peak performance kills. Like that'd be just rude to Ellie and Asteria. Like don't make their lives harder than it has to be. Like, but no, I think it'll be a fun series. I think there'll be a lot of fighting. But it'll come down to can Pai Pai or Gourmet Cookies get a big enough lead that they can stop peak from 1v5ing team fights. But 2-0 Gar is what I have.
2-0 Gar. Okay, so pretty clear that it's probably Gar favored. Oh, Marmy's back. He's back. All the viewers are gonna
Yeah.
get really annoyed. All the podcast viewers are gonna get really annoyed. But this is an incredibly cute orange cat, guys.
He heard us talking shit. He said we ain't getting 2-0'd today.
Talking.
Yeah, he was comforting me ahead of time. He's like, "It's okay, mom. It's gonna be fine." But yeah, well, but yeah, here I'm gonna show you before he goes. But yeah, he's our little,
I
it's our
love
little
him.
baby. He's got his socks.
He's got socks. So orange and
But yeah,
fluffy. I love
so
him.
orange and fluffy. All right, there you go,
All
baby.
right, bye bye, Marmy. So let's finish this out. Possum Posse versus Scheduling Nightmares. I don't think that this is going to be a close series. I think it's going to be 2-0 Possum Posse. I think Thim and Adam are just going to roll over Scheduling Nightmares bot lane. And I think Psy, Boy Wife, is going to get neutralized by Nico. And yeah, I don't really know what to say other than I think it's going to be pretty clear that Possum Posse is going to take this duo. Ellie, what do you think?
Yeah, I honestly I think I'm kind of in the same vein. I think that they have, a pretty decent bot lane. Unfortunately, I think that scheduling nightmares, I think their bot lane can be exploited heavily. Um, it's kind of similar to Tubby Spooky's bot lane. Um, and I think it will be I think it will be a 2-0. If it's somehow maybe a 2-1, but it will go to Possum Posse.
All right, Patrick?
I'll make this quick. I think it's 2-0 Possum Posse, but I think Bronze Cena solo kills X-Ray several times.
Oh, please, please,
Bronze Cena,
please.
Bronze Cena is very good, and I think he knows how to play against tanks. So I think it'll be a fun top lane. I think Bronze Cena might get a couple solo kills. Like when I say a couple, I literally mean like maybe 2.
Oh, dang.
Between
No,
the series. I
5.
don't think I don't think
5.
X-Ray is gonna get like ran through by Bronze Cena, but I think X-Ray will hold his own in the lane. I think Bronze Cena will win it that lane, and Nico will neutralize. I think jungle. I think that was that Nightmare versus Blob Bob. I think that's a pretty even jungle. That'll be a fun jungle matchup. But I think the bot lane's gonna kind of overpowered. I think Thim and Adam, I think, are gonna crush that. I do think Hamilcar's he's got to lock in. He's I think
He's got a luck.
gold. I think he's silver or
Pat on
gold.
pat
Like
on the
brother,
back. Good luck, buddy.
brother. I have complete faith in you. Like lock in. Like I believe in you. I don't know you, but I believe in you. You got this, brother.
Now, there you go, Hammer
Play.
Color, if you're
Make
listening.
sure you eat,
Patrick
eat your
Poison.
Wheaties before this series.
Eat
Like,
your Wheaties and listen to your support.
All right.
play some dubstep and just mute your
Yeah,
team.
just
Just
put
pop
it
it.
in. Let's lock in, buddy.
Okay, next one. Final Boss Esports versus Tubby's Pookies. I think this is going to be 2-0 Final Boss Esports. They just look really good. I don't think that Lord Tubbyton is going to be able to beat Neversaw or even stay neutral against Neversaw, and I think that it's just going to. I think Final Boss Esports is just too well rounded to and has great, well, not great, but like good enough macro play to be able to just overpower Tubby Spookies just as the game progresses. So, what do you think, Ellie?
Um, I'm kind of in the same boat. I think it will be a 2-0. I think Tubby Spookies, I think they will try in the beginning. Um, at least, for each game, but I think eventually or pretty early on they will get overpowered.
All right, Patrick.
I think Tubby's team kind of matches up poorly against this team. Like, you have a weak bot lane, your mid and top are your stronger players for Tubby's team, and you're running into a team where it's like, okay, their strength is top and mid, and it's like, okay, you're going band for band with Neversaw in the mid lane. It's like typically that's not going to go well. Ryan versus Too Easy. I think Too Easy's favored, but I don't think Ryan's gonna go 0-10 or something, and Too Easy's gonna like stomp him. I think they'll both be playing RuneScape while the game's going on. At least I hope they do. I think Tate Ilya is favored in that bot lane, but I don't think it'll be that crazy. But I think Tubby's team I think they match up poorly into this team, as well as, um, you know, there is that like will they won't they with Ryan and Tubby. You don't know what's happening there. Tubby might try to get in Ryan's head before the game and Adam in general chat. So Tubby might have some tricks up his sleeve, and but no, I think it'll be probably a 2-0 just because of how bad they match up.
Yeah.
Not because I think they're like particularly bad Tubby's team. They just match up
Yeah.
poorly.
No more Ilya, by the way.
Oh, is that not their support
It's
anymore?
Essence is their support and Spartan's their jungle. So
Oh, sorry. I thought Ilya just went by Essence. Like I can't keep up with all these name changes with people. I don't know what you guys go by. Like, so I think Essence Ilya. I think Ilya is probably slightly better than Essence, maybe, but I think they're probably interchangeable in this bot lane.
okay, and then finally, Chill Guys versus Anglers won't back down. I think this is going to be 2-0 Chill Guys. We still haven't seen them play this week, but I think this is going to be Chill Guys, you know, team with Mr. Rob Goblin on here, and I think that Anglers is just looking in a pretty sorry state mentally, and then just results in their play, like their first two weekends, Poss and Posse, like they looked good, but you know they lost. They got 2-0'd, and you just keep on losing that much, and it eventually gets to you. Like it starts affecting you. I just think Anglers is probably just going to continue to be bottom of the standings here. So, what do you think, Ellie?
I honestly think it will be a Chill Guys 2-0. Unless I think Goblin and Seeker are really good in the bot lane together. Especially against a team where I think their mental's caving a little bit. So I think it will just be a 2-0 for Chill Guys.
All right, Patrick.
Um, hmm. Cisco's my boy, right? Cisco's my boy. I've known him since 2015. I played a league with him in tournaments at University of Idaho. I think this is a 2-1. I think Cisco egos Gumby once or twice, falls behind it. I think Gumby steamrolls the game. And then Cisco realizes that, like, man, this guy's got hands. And then goes back to playing like a normal way. But I think Anglers won't back down. I think they could steal a game. I think Injustice Loco I think is somewhat even. I think Loco may be slightly favored, but I think Injustice is a solid player. I think Gix won't back down. I think Gix is slightly better just because Gix is knows how to play in a team. Like he knows how to just play his role, right? He knows how to. I'm gonna play a tank, or I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna do my thing. I'm gonna help my team. I'm gonna win. Gumby obviously is favored against Cisco. I think Rob over Comet, and then I don't know anything. Was it Seeker versus Savior? I don't know anything. No offense to either of them. Like I don't know either of you. Like
You really
I
called them no bobs right there.
I know I think Seeker's on one of the Summit teams. And I think he's pretty good. Um, but like yeah, I think they'll steal a game. I think Anglers won't back down. Depending on the mental, I don't know what their mental's like right now. It could be in the drain. If it's in the drain, maybe it's a 2-0. But I think Gumby can. I think Gumby could drag this team to a 1 win and get 2-1.
Oh, okay. One game win, you mean?
Yeah. Chill Guys. I think Chill Guys wins 2-1 because I think it's just consistency. They'll be more consistent. But I think Gumby can. I think Gumby could pull out a pick and just pop off on Cisco for a game.
Yeah, Cisco, my goat. So
A
that
goat.
will pretty much wrap up this episode as we pass an hour. So we'll wrap this up. Any final thoughts, Ellie, on anything
Uh,
this episode?
Honestly, I'm just really happy. I want to give another shout out to Stran. I'm just really happy that his team's kind of evened out. He's a great friend of mine. I love him to death. And I'm really excited to see where his team goes, and I'm super excited to see all the matches this week. Regardless of any outcomes, I think we have some good matchups, and I'm just really excited. So I hope everybody else is too.
Yeah, good sentiments. Hope there are some good matches, and whenever that unplayed match this week gets played, I hope it's a good match. Patrick, any final thoughts?
Yeah, I'm gonna be less positive. No, I'm just kidding. I like to thank Ellie. She was an amazing guest. Ellie was fantastic. She watched all the stuff, which is more than most guests can say on the climb. So shout out to her. Shout out to Marvin. I think they stole the show on this episode of the climb. Obviously, thank you Noah for organizing this and recording and all that. My content goat.
So
Don't say
good.
um,
that. Don't say that, please.
The Marmy fan.
yeah. Hey, my content king for this year. No, I think it'll be a fun series. If anybody, if any people have an opinion of what I said, feel free to don't DM me. I will block you, and I will complain to Colin if you DM me.
Oh my
Um,
god.
I will snitch
He is.
instantly. Um,
He will narc.
yeah. Hey, you can find me deep wildy if you're really got a beef with me. But no, realistically, like anybody wants to add me, feel free to. I'm in trash talk. I
Yeah.
know I get added
Same.
once every
Giuseppe
climate.
Hack's gonna at you.
Joe's gonna dodge me like he always does. Hey, I'm gonna look right in the camera. Joe's gonna dodge me like he always does.
Not my man Giuseppe.
All
Yeah,
right.
Joe's gonna dodge me, but no.
Yeah,
Nice
meet
to
us in trash talk.
Yeah, meet me in trash talk. I didn't watch half the series, so like you're like no matter what I say, it's gonna be a straw man. Like I did not watch it,
Appeal to
so just know
authority.
that. Hey, OT Gator, I am disappointed that you're a Seraphine player now. That I am disappointed in. I'll
Hey,
say that out loud.
I mean that's not really controversial.
I know.
All right. All right. Well, thank you everyone for watching. Thank you Ellie for being a fantastic guest, and Marmy, and thank you Patrick for being here as well. Have a good night, everyone, or good morning whenever you're watching this. Bye bye.